Welcome to Conversion Bible. This deep dive into Shopify conversion rate optimization is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it for free in your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and give it a try.
It's something every Shopify store owner thinks about. Probably keeps them up sometimes.
Yeah.
Why do some stores just, absolutely crush it, while others, maybe they get decent traffic, but they're just sort of struggling to keep the lights on? What is that difference maker?
Exactly. It's so frustrating. You put all this effort in, you build the store, you drive the traffic, and then crickets. Feels like pouring water into a leaky bucket. But here's the encouraging part. Even really small changes, tiny tweaks, can make a big difference in turning those visitors into actual customers.
Oh, absolutely. Just picture this. If you could persuade just one more person out of every 100 who visit your site to actually buy something, for a lot of stores, that small shift could mean like 150, maybe even more extra sales every single month. Think about the impact that has.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks then. We're talking about conversion rate optimization, CRO. What does that actually mean in, plain English for everyone listening?
Put simply, CRO is really about taking a hard, honest look at your online store and making smart, intentional changes to encourage more visitors to take the action you want them to take. And usually, for a Shopify store,
It's making a purchase. Yeah.
exactly, it's hitting that buy button.
Right. So it's less about just getting more traffic, although that's good too, and more about making the traffic you already have more effective, which, when you think about it, seems like a smarter way to grow. Probably more cost-effective than just constantly chasing new visitors.
Exactly. That's often the case. And in this deep dive, that's what we're going to really unpack. We'll look at how, tiny adjustments can really boost your profits. We'll give you step-by-step strategies, things you can actually do for all parts of your Shopify store. We'll explore that mix, that kind of art and science of e-commerce, and, give you practical tips you can literally start using today.
Okay, sounds good. So our mission today is to really get under the hood of Shopify conversion, give you the tools, the knowledge to turn browsers into buyers. So where do we start? What's step one on this CRO journey?
Let's begin with the core metric itself, the number we're fundamentally trying to improve, the conversion rate. It's like the pulse of your online business.
All right, hit us with the formula. How do we calculate it?
It's actually pretty straightforward. You take the number of conversions, usually sales for an e-commerce store, divide by the total number of unique visitors you had in the same period, and then multiply by 100. That gives you your percentage.
Can you give us a quick example, just to make it concrete?
Sure. Let's say your store got 10,000 visitors last month, and out of those, 200 people made a purchase. So you'd calculate 200 on 10,000 by 100. That comes out to a 2% conversion rate.
Okay, 2%. So the big question then, is 2% good, bad, average? Where does that sit?
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know. Generally speaking, the average conversion rate for Shopify stores tends to hover somewhere around, say, 1.3%. Now, the stores that are really doing well, the top performers, they often see rates more like 3% to 5%, sometimes even higher.
Wow, okay, so there's quite a range there, from average to top performer.
There really is. And it's super important to remember that these numbers aren't set in stone. They can vary quite a bit depending on your industry. Fashion might be different from electronics, which might be different from home goods. So while those general benchmarks are helpful, what really matters most is tracking your own store's performance over time and comparing yourself to others in your specific niche.
That makes total sense. It's about your own progress in your specific context, not just a single number.
Exactly right. And really, CRO isn't just about chasing that percentage point. At its core, it's about truly understanding why people are or aren't buying from you. It's digging into their experience on your site and how that influences their final decision.
So basically, anything you do that makes the shopping experience easier, or builds trust, or removes friction, removes those little annoyances, that all contributes to better conversion.
You nailed it. And when you're thinking about your own store, it's wise to set realistic goals. If you're just starting out, maybe just hitting that 1.3% average is a great first milestone. Then as you learn more, as you optimize, you can aim higher, maybe shoot for that 3–5% range. It's definitely a journey, not a destination.
Okay, so we understand the goal, we know how to measure it. What's the next step in setting ourselves up for CRO success?
Right. Now we need to lay the foundation. You wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation. Right. Same principle applies here. You can't effectively optimize your store without a good base of data and understanding.
Foundation first. Got it. So what are the key components, the building blocks of this CRO foundation?
First up, You absolutely need clear goals, and you need to define your key performance indicators, your KPIs. Yes, the overall conversion rate is king, but there are other metrics that give you really valuable clues about what's happening.
Okay, like what other metrics should we be tracking besides just the final sale conversion rate?
Well, think about your add-to-cart rate. What percentage of visitors actually put something in their basket? That shows interest. Then, cart abandonment rate, how many add items, but then bail before paying. Average order value, AOV, tells you how much people spend per transaction. And revenue per visitor, RPV, gives you an average value for each person who lands on your site. Tracking these helps you see where in the funnel things might be going wrong.
Ah, I see. So you can pinpoint the leaky spots in the bucket, so to speak. Okay, goals and KPIs set. What's next?
Next is absolutely critical, setting up proper analytics. You know the old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure. It is so true for CRO.
Makes sense. So what analytics tools are we talking about here? What are the must-haves for a Shopify store?
Okay, minimum viable setup. You need Shopify Analytics, the built-in stuff, but you really need Google Analytics connected properly. It gives you so much more depth. Then, think about tools that show you how people are using your site visually, like heat maps and session recordings. Hotjar or Lucky Orange are good examples. They let you see clicks, scrolls, where people get stuck. And finally, make sure you've got conversion tracking set up for all important actions, not just sales. Maybe email signups, account creations, things like that.
Okay, track everything. Got it. But wow, that sounds like a lot of data. Where do we even start looking once we have all that? It could feel a bit overwhelming.
That's a great point. And that's why the next step is identifying your priority pages. You don't have to fix everything all at once. Focus your energy where it's likely to have the biggest impact first.
And which pages usually offer the biggest bang for the buck in terms of optimization?
Typically, you want to look at your high-traffic pages. First, your home page, your main category pages, also your high-value pages, like the product pages for your best-selling items. Definitely pay attention to pages with high exit rates. Where are people leaving your site most often? And of course, scrutinize every single step of your checkout process. That's the closest point to the finish line.
Right, focus on the big opportunities and the big leaks. Makes sense. What's the next foundational piece?
Next, I highly recommend mapping out your customer journey. Try to create a visual representation, like a flowchart, showing the typical path someone takes from landing on your site all the way through to hopefully making that purchase.
And why is visualizing that journey so helpful? What does that reveal?
It helps you spot the friction points. Are there too many steps? Is the navigation confusing somewhere? Where are the common drop-off points? Seeing it laid out visually makes it much easier to identify those roadblocks that might be killing your conversions.
Okay, journey mapped. We're getting a really clear picture now. Goals, analytics, priority pages, customer journey. What's the final element of this preparation phase?
The last key piece is building a testing framework. Successful CRO isn't about just randomly changing things and hoping for the best. It needs a systematic approach to experimentation.
A framework for testing. What does that involve exactly?
It starts with crafting clear hypotheses. So instead of just thinking maybe a green button is better, you frame it as a testable statement like changing the add to cart button color from blue to green will increase clicks by 10%. Then you need a way to prioritize your tests, maybe based on potential impact versus how easy it is to implement. And crucially, document everything. Keep records of your hypotheses, your test setup, your results, what you learned. This builds knowledge over time.
Okay, so that structured approach is key. With that foundation laid, now we're ready to actually start making changes to the store itself.
Exactly. And one of the absolute most fundamental areas to address right off the bat is the technical performance of your site. Because, honestly, you could have the most persuasive, beautifully designed store in the world, but if it takes ages to load,
People are gone. Yeah, I know I definitely click away from slow sites. How big of an impact does speed really have?
it's huge. There's data showing something like 30% of people will bounce off a website if it takes more than just 3 seconds to load. So site speed isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential for conversions. And it impacts your SEO too.
3 seconds. Wow. Okay, speed is critical. What are the main things Shopify store owners can actually do to speed things up?
Several key things. First, image optimization is massive. Compress images before you upload them. Tools like TinyPNG are great, or use Shopify's built-in options. Second, implement lazy loading. That means images lower down the page only load when the user scrolls to them. Big impact on initial load time. Third, audit your apps. Seriously, too many apps add code bloat that slows things down. Be ruthless. Keep only what you truly need. And fourth, Minimize your CSS and JavaScript files. This means stripping out unnecessary code and characters. Shopify has some tools for this, or dedicated apps can help.
Optimize images, lazy load, call apps, minimize code. Got it. Anything else on the technical speed front?
Yeah, caching and CDNs are important too. Shopify handles a lot of server-side caching automatically, which is good. But you should also enable browser caching for static assets, like images and CSS. This stores files on the user's computer so they load instantly on return visits. And leverage Shopify's global CDN content delivery network. It stores copies of your site closer to your visitors, making it load faster wherever they are. For very image-heavy stores, an additional specialized image CDN might even be worth looking into.
Okay. And what about Shopify 2.0 themes? Does upgrading make a difference here?
It definitely can. If you're still on an older theme, upgrading to a Shopify 2.0 theme often brings performance improvements just by switching. Plus, they offer more flexibility with sections and meta fields, which can sometimes lead to cleaner, faster code indirectly.
Good to know. So speed is locked down. What about making sure the site actually works correctly for everyone, regardless of how they're accessing it?
That brings us to cross-device and cross-browser compatibility. Your store needs to function flawlessly, whether someone's on a desktop, a tablet, an iPhone, an Android phone. And it needs to work smoothly in Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge, all the major browsers.
Sounds like a fair bit of testing involved there.
It is, but it's crucial. You absolutely have to test, especially the checkout process. If someone tries to buy on their phone using Safari and hits a bug, you've lost that sale. It has to work everywhere.
Okay, technical foundation's solid, works everywhere. Where do we turn our attention next for maximum conversion impact?
Well, given the stats, the next logical, absolutely critical area has to be mobile optimization. We're talking over 70% of e-commerce traffic now coming from mobile devices.
Yeah.
It's not optional anymore, it's table stakes.
70%. Yeah, that really drives home where people are spending their time browsing and shopping. So even if our desktop site is amazing, if mobile's an afterthought, we're potentially losing the majority of our visitors.
Exactly. And honestly, a lot of stores still have a pretty poor mobile experience. It's often clunky, hard to navigate, things are too small to tap, and that directly hurts conversions. Big time.
Okay, so mobile first, or at least mobile equal. What are the key principles for designing a great mobile shopping experience?
One really practical starting point is to design for thumbs. Think about how people actually hold and use their phones, often navigating with just one thumb. This has real implications for layout and button design.
Designing for thumbs. Tell me more. What does that mean in practice?
It means making sure anything, clickable, buttons, links, menu items, is large enough to be tapped easily without accidentally hitting something else. A common guideline is at least 44 by 44 pixels. It also means placing your most important actions, like add to cart or checkout, within that easy-to-reach thumb zone, usually the middle part of the screen. And try to avoid putting critical interactive elements right at the very top or bottom edges, which can be awkward to reach.
That makes so much sense when you actually picture using your phone. What about navigating the site on that smaller screen? Menus can get crowded fast.
Totally. Mobile navigation needs to be streamlined. Use a clean, collapsible menu. That hamburger icon is pretty standard now. Keep your top-level categories focused, maybe 5 to 7 max, to avoid overwhelming users. Have a search icon that's always visible and easy to find. And make sure your logo always links back to the homepage. People expect that.
Simplified navigation, thumb-friendly. What about the content itself? Do we just shrink everything down from the desktop version?
Not ideally. You need to prioritize content for mobile. Show the most important stuff first, above the fold. Stack elements vertically. People are used to scrolling vertically on phones. Use things like accordions or tabs to hide less critical information initially, keeping the main view clean. And crucially, text needs to be readable without zooming. Aim for at least a 16-pixel font size for body text.
Readability is huge, yeah. And what about forms? Filling out forms on mobile, especially checkout forms, can be a real pain point.
Oh, absolutely. Forms are often the final barrier. Minimize the number of fields, only ask for what's absolutely necessary. Use the right keyboard types, numeric for phone numbers, email keyboard for email addresses, use autofill wherever possible. And make error messages really clear and helpful so people know exactly what needs fixing.
Okay, speed optimized, mobile optimized. Let's talk about that crucial first impression, the homepage. It's like the shop window, right? What makes a homepage really work hard to pull visitors in?
Exactly. It's your virtual front door. And you have like seconds to convince someone to stick around and explore, not just hit the back button.
High pressure. So that initial view, the above-the-fold content, what absolutely has to be there?
Right. That first screen is critical. You need a crystal clear value proposition, 1 or 2 sentences explaining what makes you unique. A high-quality hero image or video is essential, showing your products ideally in use, looking appealing. A prominent main call to action button like Shop Now or Explore Collections. And your navigation menu needs to be obvious and intuitive right away.
Clear value, great visuals, strong CTA, easy nav. Got it. What else should the homepage do to keep people engaged and moving forward?
Make it super easy to find appealing products quickly. Feature your best sellers, maybe new arrivals. Highlight current promotions or special offers. A customer favorite section works really well as social proof. And show products in context, how people use them, what lifestyle they fit into, not just floating on a white background.
Likes people visualize it in their own lives. Good point.
Yeah.
What about building trust right from that first homepage glance? How do we reassure new visitors?
Super important for first-timers. Display trust badges, secure payment logos, maybe industry certifications. Show a snapshot of positive reviews, like your overall star rating and review count. Mention key benefits like free shipping or easy returns upfront if you offer them. And if you've been featured in the media or have well-known partners, showcase those logos. It builds instant credibility.
Okay, grab attention, show products, build trust. How do we then guide visitors effectively deeper into the site from the homepage?
Use clear signposting. Group your product categories logically. Maybe have a Start Here section if your catalog is complex. Make the search bar really prominent, and you could even consider using exit intent pop-ups thoughtfully. Maybe offering a small discount for an email sign-up if someone looks like they're about to leave. Just guide their journey naturally.
Okay, homepage gets them interested. They click through to a product page. Now we're at the moment of truth, right? This is where browsing hopefully turns into buying.
Absolutely. The product page has one main job. Convince the visitor that this product is right for them and they should buy it now. Every element needs to work towards that goal.
Let's start with the visuals then. How important are product images and videos here?
Critically important. Non-negotiable, really. You need high-resolution photos from multiple angles. 6 to 8 is a good target. Include a zoom feature so people can see details. Lifestyle shots showing the product in use are super powerful. For complex items, 360-degree views can be great. And don't underestimate video. Short videos demonstrating features or benefits can boost conversions significantly. Some studies say up to 80%.
80%. Wow. Okay, visuals nailed. What about the product description? How do we write copy that actually sells?
Focus on benefits, not just features. Start with a punchy summary, hitting the main value prop. Use bullet points for scannable details. And translate features into what they mean for the customer. Instead of 5,000 mAh battery, say power that lasts all day, address potential objections proactively. And use sensory language. Help them imagine holding it, using it, experiencing it.
Benefits, scannable, address objections, sensory language. Got it. What about pricing? How we display the price matters too, right?
Definitely. Price presentation affects perceived value. If it's on sale, show the original price crossed out next to the sale price highlights the saving. Consider price anchoring. Showing a slightly higher priced option nearby can make the main price look better. Be totally transparent about extra costs like shipping early on. And for bigger ticket items, offering payment plans like Shop Pay installments can make a huge difference.
Right, transparency and options. We keep hearing about social proof. How does that play out specifically on the product page?
It's huge here. Seeing that other people bought and liked this product reduces risk for new buyers. Display star ratings prominently. Show customer reviews, ideally with photos or videos if you can get them. Display the total number of reviews or purchases. 1,200 people bought this is powerful. And showcasing user-generated content, like Instagram photos from customers using the product, is fantastic social proof.
Okay, leverage those happy customers. What about creating urgency or scarcity? Does that stuff actually work without feeling spammy?
When used ethically and accurately, yes, it can definitely motivate action. Things like showing real-time stock levels, only 3 left, creates urgency. Limited-time offers with countdown timers work well. Indicating high demand with selling fast labels can tap into FOMO, fear of missing out. Even clearly stating shipping cutoff times, order by 2 p.m. for next day delivery, can nudge people to buy now.
Urgency, scarcity, social proof. Powerful stuff. Now the final click on this page. The Add to Cart button. How do we make that button impossible to miss and easy to click?
That button is arguably the most important single element. It has to stand out. Use a contrasting color that pops against the page background. Use clear, action-oriented text. Add to cart, buy now, get yours. Make sure it's visible without scrolling on most screen sizes. And consider using a sticky button that stays visible at the bottom of the screen as they scroll, always there when they're ready.
Okay, they clicked Add to Cart. Success! But wait. We know a lot of people add things to the cart and then never actually buy them. That cart abandonment rate is notoriously high, right?
Oh yeah, that average of around 70% cart abandonment is a huge leaky hole in many funnels. But it's also a massive opportunity. Optimizing the cart page and the checkout process itself can recover a lot of those potentially lost sales. Let's start with the cart page.
What makes for a good high-converting cart page?
Clarity and reassurance are key. Show clear product info. Images, titles, prices, quantities. Make it super easy to adjust quantity or remove items. Show estimated shipping costs. Early surprises here are a major cause of abandonment. If you have a free shipping threshold, show a progress bar. You're only $10 away from free shipping. Include trust badges and payment icons again here, and maybe suggest related items, but don't make it too distracting from the main goal. Checking out.
Clear, easy, reassuring cart. Now the checkout itself, what usually trips people up here and makes them abandon?
Complexity and friction are the main culprits. Too many steps, asking for too much info, forcing account creation. Each extra field or click increases the chance they'll just give up. The goal is to make it as smooth and fast as possible.
So how do we streamline it? What are the practical steps?
Definitely offer guest checkout. Don't force account creation. Minimize form fields, only ask for what you absolutely need to process and ship the order. Show a progress indicator, step 1 of 3, so they know where they are. Use autofill for addresses and payment info whenever possible. And keep the checkout page design super simple. Remove distracting navigation links or headers that could tempt them to click away.
Guest checkout, fewer fields, progress bar, autofill, simple design. Got it. What else is important during this final checkout stage?
Payment options. Offer variety. Major credit cards, obviously, but also digital wallets like Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal. Buy now, pay later options like Klarna, Afterpay, or ShopPay installments are increasingly popular and expected. Display the logos of the payment methods you accept clearly.
Makes sense. Don't lose a sale just because you don't offer their preferred way to pay. What about addressing those last-minute doubts or questions people might have right before hitting confirm order?
Be proactive. Make shipping costs and delivery times absolutely crystal clear, no surprises. Highlight your return policy prominently. Offer order tracking. Consider having live chat available during checkout for instant help. And display security badges right near the payment fields to reinforce trust.
Okay, we've done everything to make checkout smooth. But some people will still leave. What can we do to try and bring them back?
That's where cart abandonment recovery comes in. Set up automated emails that go out shortly after someone abandons a cart, maybe 1 hour, then 24 hours later. Consider including a small discount in those emails as an incentive. Use exit intent pop-ups on the cart or checkout page to capture an email address before they leave. And use retargeting ads to show them the products they left behind as they browse elsewhere online.
So even after they leave, we're still trying to gently nudge them back. Okay, let's shift focus slightly to something that underpins everything we've discussed. Trust. How do we build that essential trust and credibility online?
Trust is absolutely the foundation. Online, people can't touch the product or see your physical store, so you have to build that confidence digitally. It's truly the currency of conversion. Without trust, people just won't buy.
So what are the key signals, the visual cues we can use to build that trust?
Display SSL certificate badges, showing the little padlock, proving the connection is secure. Show logos of secure payment processors you use. If you have business credentials like a Better Business Bureau rating or industry association memberships, feature those. Payment protection guarantees add reassurance. And third-party review platform badges like Trustpilot or Google Customer Reviews are really powerful validators.
We talked about reviews on product pages. How else can we leverage customer feedback to build overall brand trust?
Show your overall store rating prominently, maybe in the footer or header. Aggregate reviews. Encourage photos and videos with reviews. Seeing real people is powerful. Highlight the total number of reviews demonstrates experience. And respond to reviews, both good and bad, professionally. It shows you care and you're listening.
Transparency feels key too. What about things like store policies? How important are those for trust?
Hugely important. Clear, easy-to-find policies reduce anxiety. Have a generous and simple return policy. 30 days or more is good. Clearly explain shipping details. Have an accessible privacy policy. And create a comprehensive FAQ section that answers common questions proactively.
Clear policies remove uncertainty. What about demonstrating expertise? Showing we know our stuff in our niche.
Yeah, that builds confidence too. Provide really detailed product info and specs. Offer buying guides or educational content if relevant. Showcase any industry awards or recognition. And mention any positive media features as seen in. Logos build authority.
And finally, people trust people, right?
Mm,
How do we humanize our brand to connect better?
totally. Put a face to the name. Have a genuine About Us page with your story, maybe team photos. Use authentic, relatable language. Avoid corporate jargon. Offer multiple easy ways to contact a real person: phone, email, live chat. Make it easy to connect.
Okay, trust established. Let's talk about the overall feeling of using the site, the user experience, or UX. How does improving UX help conversions?
Good UX means making interactions intuitive, pleasant, and friction-free. When things are easy and enjoyable, people are much more likely to stick around, find what they need, and ultimately buy. Even small UX improvements can remove roadblocks and make a big difference to your conversion rate.
So where are the key areas to focus on for UX improvements that impact conversions?
Site navigation is a big one. Help people find things fast. Keep main categories focused. 5-7 is a good rule. Use clear descriptive names. Have logical drop-downs. Make the search icon persistent and obvious. Use breadcrumb navigation so people always know where they are in the site structure.
Good navigation prevents frustration. What about site search itself? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, search users often convert better because they have higher intent. So make your search powerful. Use predictive search with autocomplete. Offer filters for results: price, size, color. Show product images and results. Handle typos and synonyms gracefully. And have helpful no results pages that suggest alternatives or categories.
Smart search helps people find exactly what they want. What about readability and accessibility, making sure everyone can easily consume the content?
Absolutely crucial for UX. Use high contrast text. Dark on light is usually best. Choose readable fonts, minimum 16px for body text. Break up text with headings, bullets, short paragraphs, make it scannable. Use alt text for all images, help screen readers and SEO. And ensure enough space around buttons and links for easy tapping, especially on mobile.
Clear, scannable, accessible for everyone. What about making the experience feel more relevant to the individual user?
That's personalization. Showing you understand their interests boosts engagement. Display recently viewed items. Offer personalized product recommendations based on browsing or purchase history. Maybe tailor homepage content for returning visitors. Even segmenting emails based on past behavior makes messaging much more relevant and effective.
Personalization makes it feel less generic. Good point. What's the final piece of the UX puzzle?
Making support easily accessible. Be there when they need help. Offer live chat if possible, especially during checkout. Have a clear contact us link. Maybe a chatbot for basic questions 24/7, and clearly display your support hours. Easy access to help reduces frustration and can save sales.
Okay, wow. Foundation, technical, mobile homepage, product pages, checkout, trust UX. We've covered a lot of ground for optimization, but the crucial question remains, how do we know if any of these changes are actually working? This is where testing comes in, right?
Exactly. This is absolutely critical. The best CRO strategies aren't based on gut feelings or what you personally like. They're driven by data. Systematic testing is the only reliable way to know for sure what moves the needle with your audience.
Okay, let's get into testing. The most common type is A/B testing. Can you break that down for us? How does it work?
A/B testing, sometimes called split testing, is essentially comparing two versions of a web page or an element on a page to see which one performs better. You show version A, often the original, the control, to one group of visitors, and version B, with one specific change, the variation, to another similar group, randomly. Then you track which version leads to more conversions, more clicks, more signups, more sales, whatever your goal is.
What sort of things are good candidates for A/B testing on a Shopify store?
Start with high-impact elements. Your main call to action buttons: test color, text, size, placement. Headlines and subheadings, try different wording. Product images, maybe lifestyle shots versus plain background. You could even test different page layouts. The key rule is test only one thing at a time in each test. That way, you know exactly what caused the difference in results. And run tests long enough to get statistically significant data, usually at least a week or two, or until you have a decent number of conversions per variation, say 200 plus for a day. Use good tools for this. Google Optimize is free, or Shopify apps like Need A/B testing make it easier.
One change at a time. Got it. I've also heard of multivariate testing. How is that different?
Multivariate testing is more complex. It lets you test multiple changes on multiple elements all at once to find the best combination. So you might test 3 headlines and 2 images and 2 button colors simultaneously. It can find optimal combinations A/B testing might miss, but
There's a catch.
yeah, it requires a lot more traffic than A/B testing to get reliable results because you're splitting visitors into many more groups. It's usually only practical for stores with very high traffic volumes. For most stores, starting with focused A/B tests is the way to go.
Okay, stick with A/B testing for most of us. With so many things we could test, how do we decide what to test first? Where do we prioritize?
Prioritize strategically, look at potential impact, focus on those high-traffic, high-value pages first. Consider implementation ease. Sometimes quick wins can build momentum and provide valuable learnings early on. And listen to your customers. Use insights from analytics, heat maps, surveys, or support tickets to identify problem areas or points of friction. Those are often great places to start testing.
Okay, we run the test, we get the data. How do we analyze the results properly? It's not just about looking at which version got more clicks, is it?
Right. Careful analysis is key. First, check for statistical significance. Usually aim for 95% confidence, meaning you're highly confident the result isn't just random chance. Look beyond just the immediate conversion metric. Did the change impact average order value or revenue per visitor? Segment your results. Did the change work better on mobile versus desktop, or for new versus returning visitors? And document everything: wins, losses, inconclusive results. Every test is a learning opportunity.
We found a winner. Our test shows version B is significantly better. What's the process for implementing that change?
Roll out winners systematically. Implement one winning change at a time, usually. Then double-check that the change works correctly across all key devices and browsers. Monitor your core metrics closely after implementation to confirm the positive impact holds true in the real world. Then, take what you learned and add new hypotheses to your testing backlog. It's a continuous cycle.
Okay, testing is clearly an ongoing process. Once we've got the basics down and have a good testing rhythm, are there more advanced CRO strategies we can explore to really push things further?
Oh, absolutely. Once you've nailed the fundamentals and have a solid testing culture, there are definitely more sophisticated tactics you can layer on top to gain an extra edge and really fine-tune that conversion funnel.
All right, let's hear them. What are some of these advanced techniques?
Advanced personalization is a big one. We talked about basics, but you can go deeper. Behavioral targeting, showing unique offers or content based on specific actions someone took on your site. Geographic personalization, adapting currency, language, even shipping offers based on location. Creating truly different experiences for mobile versus desktop users. Even time-based personalization, tailoring messages for time of day or specific holidays.
That level of tailoring sounds really powerful. What else is in the advanced toolkit?
Strategic exit intent pop-ups. When someone's mouse moves like they're about to leave, show a highly relevant offer. Maybe a discount for an email sign-up, maybe highlight strong social proof, suggest alternative products, or offer instant live chat help, especially if they're abandoning checkout. It's a last chance to keep them engaged.
Catching them before they disappear. Smart. What about making the site more interactive?
Yes, interactive elements boost engagement, which often leads to conversion. Things like product finder quizzes, find your perfect skincare routine, augmented reality, AR, try-ons for fashion, or visualizing furniture in your room, interactive sizing guides for apparel, 360-degree product viewers. These make the experience more immersive and helpful.
Those sound fun and useful. I've also heard about gamification in e-commerce. How does that fit into CRO?
Gamification uses game mechanics to make shopping more engaging and rewarding. Think spin-to-win wheels for discounts, tiered loyalty programs with points and badges, limited-time treasure hunts for special offers, or a progress bar showing how close someone is to earning free shipping or a reward. It can increase repeat visits and purchase frequency.
Making shopping fun. Okay, any final advanced strategies using newer technology?
Definitely leveraging AI-powered optimization. AI can analyze data and optimize experiences in ways humans can't easily replicate. Think AI-driven predictive product recommendations, dynamic pricing that adjusts based on demand, automated A/B testing platforms that find winners faster, or even AI predicting the optimal time to send marketing emails to each individual customer.
AI is definitely changing the game. So as we implement all these strategies, basic and advanced, how do we measure the overall success of our CRO program over the long term? How do we know it's really working?
That's crucial. CRO isn't a set-it-and-forget-it thing. It demands continuous measurement and analysis. To gauge long-term success, you need to consistently track the right key performance indicators, or KPIs.
And remind us, what are those key KPIs we should be monitoring constantly?
Beyond the main site conversion rate, keep tracking your add-to-cart rate, your checkout completion rate, average order value, AOV, revenue per visitor, RPV. And ideally, look at customer lifetime value, CLTV too, to see if your efforts are bringing in more valuable customers over time. Tracking these trends tells the real story.
We're tracking the metrics, but how do we figure out which of our CRO activities are actually driving those improvements? Attribution can be tricky.
It can be. Proper attribution is key. Use attribution models in your analytics to understand which touchpoints contribute most to conversions. Track micro-conversions, like email signups, as leading indicators. Segment your data, look at metrics by traffic source, device, customer type, new versus returning, and consider the time lag between first visit and purchase. Understanding the full journey is vital.
Okay, tracking and attribution help us understand what's working. But how do we prove the value of CRO? How do we calculate the ROI?
Good question. You need to quantify the return on your investment. Calculate the estimated additional revenue generated by your CRO wins. Compare that revenue gain to the costs involved: tool subscriptions, team time spent on research, testing, implementation. Consider the long-term value too. Better UX often leads to higher loyalty and CLTV. And compare CRO's ROI to other marketing channels to justify continued investment.
Demonstrating that ROI is key for ongoing support. How do we keep the momentum going? How do we plan for continuous improvement?
Develop a CRO roadmap. Maintain a prioritized backlog of test ideas based on data and potential impact. Hold regular review meetings to discuss results and plan next steps. Balance quick wins with bigger strategic improvements. And make sure CRO is integrated with your overall marketing strategy. It shouldn't happen in a silo.
A roadmap keeps things structured. What's the ultimate key to long-term sustainable CRO success?
Foster a testing culture throughout your whole team or business. Encourage everyone to bring ideas. Document everything: wins and losses. Share learnings widely. Celebrate successful tests. When experimentation and data-driven decisions become part of your company DNA, that's when you build a powerful, sustainable engine for growth.
Fantastic. That was an incredibly comprehensive journey through Shopify CRO. If you had to boil it all down, what are the absolute core principles our listeners should take away?
Okay, key takeaways. CRO is about serving your customers better, which drives revenue. Always start with data. Focus relentlessly on the customer experience. Test everything methodically. Prioritize based on impact. And make it a continuous cycle of learning and improving.
And to make it super practical, what's a simple action plan or roadmap someone could follow to just get started today?
All right, a quick start guide. 1. Make sure Google Analytics is properly set up and just look at your basic numbers: traffic, conversion rate, baseline. 2. Check your site speed with Google PageSpeed Insights. Fix any major red flags. 3. Browse your own site on your phone like a customer. Find the frustrations. 4. Critique your best-selling product pages. Are visuals great? Is copy benefit-driven? Is the CTA clear? 5. Walk through your own checkout. Where does it feel clunky? 6. Check for basic trust signals: return policy visible, secure payment logos. 7. Brainstorm just one simple A/B test for a key page and figure out how to run it. Just start somewhere.
It really feels like this perfect blend of art and science, understanding data, but also understanding people.
Exactly. The data tells you what is happening, but understanding psychology and user behavior helps you figure out why it's happening and how to improve it. It's that combination, plus a commitment to making things better for the shopper, that really drives conversion success.
Ready to supercharge your Shopify store's conversion rate? Consider implementing Growth Suite, a comprehensive solution that helps Shopify merchants increase conversions through intelligent optimization, personalization, and testing tools. Take your CRO to the next level and watch your sales grow.
This has been a deep dive into Shopify conversion rate optimization on Conversion Bible.
And here's a final thought for you to mull over. Based on everything we discussed, what is one specific thing on your Shopify store? Maybe something that jumped out at you today that you could start optimizing or testing right now. Pick one thing, take action, and you're already moving in the right direction.
This deep dive was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you to run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free.